Hey friends, so welcome to my first YouTube video. So if you don't know me, my name is Nathan Chansky. I'm a business coach, photographer, course creator, podcaster, and frankly, just a guy who loves teaching artists like yourself how to master the art of business so that you can reach financial freedom while living out your full potential and calling as a creative. And like I said, this is my absolute first YouTube video for this channel. I am brand new to this. This is my first rodeo, and I admit this definitely feels weird. And that's actually where I want to start today. That's what I want to talk to you about today, is just the vulnerability of starting, of diving into something brand new, of going outside of your comfort zone. So really quick story time. About 6 months ago, I had this idea to get on YouTube, which is like very new for me, like I said. And I've built my audience mainly on a place like Instagram, on my podcast, and I've really figured out those spaces in many senses. I really know what's going on there on my platforms, and if obviously I'm not perfect, but I'm still ever evolving, but I am comfortable in those settings. I have a workflow, I kind of have my voice established in those spaces, but this year I said, I want to do YouTube. And obviously I will still always love a good short form of content, but I love long form content. I always have loved long form content. You can just go deeper, you can bite off bigger subjects and serve better here in many senses. And I know it's not always quick growth or easy wins, and long form especially takes more time to build and to put in the work. But it just feels so aligned for me to be here on YouTube. And I personally have always loved YouTube and YouTubers, and finding my favorite creators on YouTube is just this immersive experience rather than just a quick snapshot of them that maybe I saw on a place like Instagram. So YouTube was this massive opportunity that I just couldn't pass up. But it did take me months to get here from the time when I first had that idea. We're talking minimum 6 months. And I'm going to be real with you. I procrastinated starting this for so long. Because it felt so daunting to me, still does. And I had to learn what mic to get, this new mic right here. I don't know what I'm doing with this mic. Hopefully it's picking up my audio, right? My lighting, my studio, getting a video editor, coming up with ideas for videos, picking ideas, mapping out and scripting the videos. This took me so long to set all this up. Do you think I knew what I was doing? Not a chance. I still don't in many ways. Even this video, just so you know, this is my 6th time, maybe my 5th time recording this, okay? First time, I stumbled over my words, had to restart. Second time, my camera didn't focus on my face when I went back to rewatch it. Third time, my mic just didn't pick up the audio. I have no idea why. It just wasn't turned on or something like that. Fourth time, I had some stupid cord in the background right here. There was probably a 5th time in there as well. Something went wrong. And I had to keep going back over and over and over again. And every time I went back, I thought I was done. But then I had to re-record the whole thing. And I was just what am I doing here? So there's a lot of places where I was able to procrastinate or just throw in the towel. And even deciding what I want this channel to be. I'm still I don't know. We're going to go on this journey together. We are really on this journey together. In a couple of videos, I might have a different studio setup. I might have a different microphone. My videos may be completely different. I don't know. But it came down to the point where I said to myself, I'm just going to dive in. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to create the content that I would want to consume and talk about the topics that light me up that I know will impact people like you. And I'm just going to go all in on the thing that I love to do. So that's what I can promise you here. That's my promise to you, is nothing perfected, but that's kind of the point, isn't it? I would have never gotten anything done in my business if I never just dove in and started. I mean, even just picking up my camera for the first time back when I started photography, back when I first started posting on Instagram, back when I would go up to random couples and ask if they could model for me out of thin air, shooting my first wedding, all the way to today, I am still starting from zero with new things that I don't know how to do fully yet. I'm still saying I don't know how, but I'm going to figure it out. I am not fully ready to be a YouTuber by, I'm sure, many other people's standards, but I'm a YouTuber now. I decided I am. That's what I am. We're going to figure it out as we go. And yeah, I can't go back now. So the video is up. Like if you're watching this, that means the video is published. It's up. I am all in, and frankly, I'm really excited about it. I remember it was a little story, before when I started photography, and it was just when I was getting started as a wedding photographer. Before I was really comfortable enough to put myself out there, even just for like a normal shoot that wasn't even a wedding. And I was so overwhelmed at that time with gear of photography and of flashes of photography and of lenses and all that like more technical side of things. It just freaked me out. And it held me back from ever putting myself out there as a photographer and like opening myself up to shoots and things like that. And I remember this key moment where I was going through, I think Instagram at the time, and I saw a random video of a friend of mine who was also kind of getting into photography at the same time as I was. And he was just on a photo shoot with just a single camera and lens in his hand. And it wasn't a full top tier camera body or lens. It was just like an entry level DSLR and prime lens. And I remember seeing that and thinking to myself, oh, well, I can do that. I don't know all about how to get it perfect and get the perfect flash and the perfect gear and all that, but I know how to do that. I can show up with a camera and a lens and I can make magic. That may be all I know how to do at the time, but I can do exactly that, and I can crush it doing that. So I remember that was like this permission slip to me of you can actually do this. So I did. And I started photographing literally with just a camera and a lens. And again, I would go up to random couples and just be like, hey, do you want to shoot? And I'd show up with a camera and a lens. Now, is that where I ended up as a photographer? No, of course not. And I wouldn't recommend that approach for the long term. But that mindset got me started. And then I realized, of course, once I got deeper into photography and actually took that first step in, that all those other things that were holding me back, like the gear and whatever, they had no validity to them. That fear had no validity to it. The gear wasn't really that hard to understand. Flash really wasn't that hard to understand once I got into it. Coming with extra camera bodies and lenses more prepared just made the process easier and less stressful for me and allowed me to creatively produce more. So it ended up, well, I eventually became a 6-figure wedding photographer who shoots weddings all over the country. But I would have never been able to get there if I hadn't just started without knowing fully how to do it from that starting point. And some people would probably say, well, you weren't fully ready yet to be a photographer when you started, so you shouldn't have even started. I disagree. I wasn't a full-blown photographer professional at the time, but I did just start, and I just said to myself, I'm a photographer now. And that was that. And that mindset has served me so well over the years. It keeps me fresh. It keeps me advancing when I step into things before I feel fully ready, even when, yes, they feel uncomfortable. And it's the exact same thing for you. When you stay stagnant as a person, or when I stay stagnant as a professional or as a person, just with things that we know, and we only do what we know how to do in and out, and when you only stay within the four walls of what's comfortable to you, that's when you stop growing. That's when I would stop growing. Growth so often happens in the pain, in the stretching, and that's why they call it growing pains, right? So if you really want to avoid pain for the rest of your life, then you're probably going to stop growing as well. If you want to keep growing, you've got to expect pain. So I'm so excited for this channel. I really am. I'm very excited to connect with you in a format that I've never connected with before in social media, which is long format video content. So if you would, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel and encourage me on this journey if you want. It would mean the absolute world to me. And then, hey, in the comments, give me some ideas on like what you'd love to see me talk about on this channel. And you can upvote or like someone else's comment if you see something you'd like to see as well. What I bet is that this will be a business channel. This is just the topic where I come alive. It's where I think I can serve you best. I'm not really like your standard YouTuber of here's my life, let's commercialize it type of person. I also just feel like I'm a pretty simple guy. I'm not off traveling to exotic location every weekend or doing stunts or flashing an unrealistic lifestyle. That's just not me. But I am here to serve you with the content that helps you make money, builds your confidence, grows your business, and changes you as a person for the better. So that is my goal with this channel, and I hope that you will come along with me for the journey because, like I said, I don't know what I'm fully doing quite yet, but we're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna figure it out together. So that's how I'm gonna end this episode. And actually, I wanna ask you, what is something that you've been putting off that you should be doing or starting, but you're just too scared to, and you've just found like ways to avoid it, or you've thrown in the towel? I challenge you to just start whatever that is today. One of the biggest hacks that I use in my life is actually just taking the first step. For me, that meant with starting this YouTube channel, pulling up a notes document and just writing out the title for the first episode and sitting myself down in front of my computer with no distractions and an instrumental track in my ears. And in that space, I had no choice but to just start. Like, it was easy and convenient for me to start in that environment. So create that environment for yourself. Take that first step. Just take step one, and then make it awkward or uncomfortable or pointless for yourself to back out now. And then just do the dang thing. You got this. I will see you right back here next time. And thank you so much for watching, and thanks for being here.